This market just keeps going higher. Seems to be no stopping it. We kind of went sideways for a little while, but we've started higher again. I would suspect that we're going to at least test these previous range highs, and we might even make all-time new highs. We're definitely overbought again, so we may get another correction first. So we'll just have to see what the market brings from here. But anyway, it is Thursday, so this will wrap up our week. No chart lessons on Fridays. And we do have the July 4th holiday coming up too. I haven't even looked at the calendar. I'm not sure what day that is. I'll usually take a day or so around that vacation, and we usually go to our lake house. But so I haven't even looked at the calendar to see when that is. But that's probably coming up sometime in the next week or so. But anyway, there it is. You can see very bullish day. It's not quite 4 o'clock, but it looks like we're going to close near the highs. We could still back off. There's still about 10 minutes left in the trading day. So we could end up pushing higher, or we could back off a little bit. But certainly we're going to end on a bullish slant here, it looks like. So let's flip over to the 2000 tick chart, and we will go through the trades, and we'll wrap this day up and wrap this week up. Okay, here it is. No news today to Mount ETH. This was actually tomorrow's news up here. So we had this spike up, and we went sideways into the opening, and then we had another spike and channel up that pretty much held most of the day. We had a close. This was outside after 2:30, a couple legs to a new high, and then we had a two-legged correction, and we're pushing higher. We just kind of went sideways after that point, it looks like. So that's how I would describe this late afternoon, just kind of sideways action after a break at a new high. So anyway, let's zoom in here and we'll go through the trades. There's several trades here. Early on, you just had to kind of play range rules. We were in this tight range here. And 7 o'clock came. I think it was right in here somewhere. It was this bar right here that made this high. Yep, we kind of made this next high here. And unfortunately, you didn't get a signal bar here. That was like the 1, 2, 3, like a quadruple test. But then we got another lower high here that it actually broke higher and then turns down and closes. And there's still plenty of room to get out. I like going short there. We get a failed breakout. I don't think you want to try to go long there. We do come back inside the range here, but no setup. And we got a trend working up, close outside, a couple of swings to a new high. I just don't think that signal bar is good enough. This one is tempting, and I think it does close in the lower 1/3, but we didn't quite get back to the highs there. If you took it, it still works, but I'm not crazy about it. But maybe you take that one. You can't take this one. But then we get another lower high. It's lower than this one, and a nice signal bar back inside the range. And that's a nice little setup right there. If this bar hadn't been so big, I'd say you could enter here, but there's just not enough room to scalp out, and you don't know where it's going to bounce. And we move too far for a lower high there. And then we get another failed breakout, but again, no signal bar, no high or low either. We break out the other side, and notice what happens. We try to go higher once, twice, 3 times, and then we get a bearish bar here with that being a failed breakout in 3 tries. As long as there's plenty of room back to the EMA, really the midline is what you would be looking at on a sideways range like this, because the EMA is usually, you can see prices are usually working through the EMA regardless. So, but we did have a little bit of a trend up of the close outside, and we didn't quite make a new high. So it does come back here and tries to go higher, but I don't think you can go long right there. You can just take this triple test to the short side, but I don't think you can, as tempting as it is, you can't go long right into those highs. There's just not room to get out. It ends up working, but you just don't know that. And this resistance just kind of works across, and so again, you get a little failed second entry short there, but you just can't go long right into that resistance. It ends up pushing higher, makes a nice move up, and then we actually get a break here. And notice we're working down. You get a first entry, and then you move on down. So that's the second entry long, and you do get a break and new low. Nice signal bar right at the EMA. I like going long there, and that's another nice move up. That's just the first entry. And it's tempting to go short, but I don't think you want to go short yet. I think you need a lower high, and you just don't get one there. When it touches that upper trend line, you might say, okay, I'm going to take a short here if you've got plenty of room back to the EMA, but I'm not crazy about it. The problem here is you don't want to be too early, and you can be early on that kind of type of a move if you don't take a lower high. And then we come down here, we bounce, but no setup, and then we're working sideways again, and you can clearly see the triple test. Nice signal bar. I like going long. As long as you got room to get out, I like going long there. And then you get another opportunity, same thing, another bounce and a higher low as well. Another nice signal bar with plenty of room to get out. And this one takes off. So that was a nice move up. And then we're chopping sideways again. Now you did get a triple test right here. I'm not as crazy about this one. Normally I'd probably make that red, but because we're in a big uptrend here and we still haven't reached the upper side yet, again, I'm not crazy about going short there. There's plenty of room back to the EMA and the low side of that channel, so I think you can just, if you can like that for a scalp, but I wouldn't expect much more than that to it. I mean, we could always come back down here, but if I take that trade, I'm probably just going to scalp out. And then we're bouncing along again, and I don't think you want to take that trade. We couldn't get, there's 3 times we tried to get through the midline, and we're kind of struggling. There is a higher low here, and it makes a 2-bar matching low right off the lows, but there's not room to get out again. So again, I don't think you want to take that trade. And then we get a second entry long here. Notice the new high, and you get a first entry, and then it makes a lower high there, but it's an inside bar, and I just don't think you want to take that inside bar. Turns out to be a nice move, and then you get a close outside. It tries to make a new high, and you get a little bit of a correction. But notice what happens. I just call this sideways action, so that's a leg down, first entry, and it tries to go low. Then you get a close outside and a new low here. And it will break above that to second entry long. And we still haven't got to the upper side yet, so there's a good chance we could still push higher. So with that second entry at the EMA, I like going long there, especially with the close outside and new low. You would hope you'd get a higher low here that's set up, but you don't, and it runs higher here. And again, it's tempting to go short there, but we're in an uptrend. It is at the upper side, but I would at least wait on a lower high that comes here. And I only marked that one green again because we're in a strong uptrend. And you need to be looking for shorts more than you do longs. But there's reasons to like this to the downside. Just to ride it back to the EMA if nothing else. I mean, every time we've touched the upper side, we've come back down again. And we just touched it again and then made a lower high. So there's a good chance we're coming back down again. And notice we're working lower. You get a close outside, move to a new low, and it bounces with a nice signal bar right off the key entry point. Now, it's not a second entry. It's like a first, second, third entry. So I only made it green for that reason. I still like that trade, but you might wait and see if you get a higher low, which comes right here. I like entering there better. That comes back one more time, but we don't get a setup there. And that takes us on into 230. There's another higher low here, but it's right into a bunch of resistance at that midline, so you can't go long there either. It would have worked if you took it, but you can't risk that right there that late in the day. So there it is. It wasn't really a bad trading day. The volume and volatility continues to be rather mild lately compared to what we were seeing. And again, we had a spike up and we went sideways. Then we had another spike in a channel. This is a spike and channel up that pretty much lasted the rest of the day. So it was pretty obvious you just need to stay with the trend and look for longs along the way up. And if you stayed with the trend and followed the rules, there were plenty of setups today that were not too hard to find, and they're kind of spread out through the day, so it wasn't like you had to sit for long periods of time like usual. You did have to kind of be patient from about 11 o'clock till just before 1 o'clock. So there was a little bit of a space in there where all you had was one green trade. So, but that's the way it is a lot of times around lunchtime. So nothing unusual. But anyway, that's it. That's going to wrap up our day. Fairly, I would say, average kind of trading day. Typical ES trading day. Uh, mild volatility, lower volume. And this is probably what I'd call average volatility and average volume, but after what we've had lately, it feels much lower. And so that's the reason I say that. But anyway, there it is. Hope you had a good trading day. I hope you had a good week. I'll be in the morning. We'll do a mid-morning chart, and then I'll probably leave at lunchtime. So I'm still keeping my hours cut back. I've not been able to get back in for my final doctor's appointment. I've got another one with the heart doctor, but I'm feeling pretty good. I'm still having some irregular heartbeat. I'm monitoring it with EKG and my blood pressure monitor. And so just to update people, I hadn't said much about it lately. But I'm feeling pretty good. But I'm still trying to take it easy and take it slow and keep my stress levels down. So I'm not working as hard. I try to get in here by 7 every morning, but if I don't get here late, I don't get here late. I'm not pressing it. I'm not pushing myself. I usually trade, then go to the forum and read a little bit and try to answer anything in the forum, and then I take a few hours off in the middle of the day and then come back again for a couple hours in the afternoon. And that's probably the way I'm going to continue to do this till after I see my heart doctor and he tells me where I need to go from there. So again, I feel good. I don't really notice it even when I am in. I wore a harness for some kind of monitor they gave me, and I am monitoring it with my own. I've got like a 12 lead EKG that you hold on your knee and put your thumbs on, and that's giving me some readings. And I'm going in. I'm still going in and out of AFib. But 90% of the time my heart is normal, and about 10% of the time I'm in AFib. So we don't know what's causing it. Still have no idea. They put me on some meds that I don't know if they've helped or not, but they're blood thinners and things like that, just to make sure that my blood's not too thick and I'm not going to have a stroke or something before I get in to see the heart doctor. So. But anyway, that's enough on that. And for anybody that's interested, they'll have asked me how I'm doing, if I'm better or whatever. But that's kind of where we stand. I'm just kind of in limbo at this point. So, but I'll update you when I know more, and I'll continue to kind of have. I'll continue to put in less hours than I have in the past for a little while anyway. So, but I'm going to wrap it up. We'll be back again to do it Monday. I'm done for today. This is Mac with PriceActionTradingSystem.com, and we'll see you next.